think it's funny, when we talk about common or modern day audiences, we have a restaurant actually in town that serves some esteemed drinks, and one of them is called Coughlin's Law. And the bartender, sadly, was so young that they didn't know what it was. So I had to do some educating, right? I had to explain what Coughlin's Law was all about. Coughlin's laws are very often known and they're quoted. I always find it funny when I
Yeah,
quote one on social media and somebody comments back. They're brilliant. I love them. My favorite are anything else is always something better, and
right.
never show surprise, never lose your cool. But I have to ask you, Heywood, if Doug Coughlin were here today, what would he tell aspiring pupils? What would the 21st century Coughlin's laws be?
That's a good question. Um, what would they be? What would he tell people? Well, I think he would be more sinister, not sinister, but he'd be a little more involved in the manipulating of situations, of finessing certain situations, seeing who you can charm and who you don't need, being more cold-blooded about your career than you would have been in 1988. Unfortunately, that's how I see it. I see
Yeah,
people, I see people who have to work a lot harder than we had to work. We got what we got, and a lot of the stuff that we got, we didn't really need.
makes
So,
sense.
yeah, I mean, we didn't worry about money. Most people I know, as I said before, because we had enough to cover ourselves. People in certain, I think also this phenomenon of people making billions and billions of dollars on tricks, on hitting the lottery, on some kind of this TikTok thing that you protect, and all of a sudden you're a big sensation. This has made people nuts. And
Yeah.
I don't know if Cochran would tell them to keep playing the lotteries. I think he would probably tell them to stay off all that because the percentage is not good for you, and you're going to make yourself crazy. And if you don't get it, if you don't get what you want, or if you have to keep pushing and pushing, it'll make you nuts. So I think that he would probably tell them, to be a little more, what's the word? To have a plan, because you need a plan, you know. But that's a good question. I'll have to think about that. I'll write you an email.
No,
I'll
I love that. And I think you hit on something. I always thought that given the resources and the luck, Coughlin would have been like a Gordon Gecko of that time.
yeah.
He would have been manipulative and power hungry given that opportunity, but he was always looking to hustle and make a deal. And that's one of the things I think he was, but he realized at the end that he was full of it. So, too late, unfortunately.